The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I just got done talking about Tyszu and Tony Harrison and how that fight's not happening, and his promotional team, they were looking for opponents to come over to Australia and box Tyszu, and they finally got one. They finally got one, and it's an opponent that, if you're really up in your boxing, you'll know who this is. It's been reported by BoxingScene.com that Tyszu will be taking on Takeshi Inoue, the former world title challenger. And Takeshi Inoue, I mean, he's not Naoya the Monster Inoue, and he's not Takuma Inoue, his brother. He's not related to them. He's a different Inoue. He's from the same country. He's from Japan. But with that being said, a couple years ago, Takeshi Inoue, in his most notable fight, he fought Munguia, and I thought, to be honest, Joe, I thought it was a close fight. I thought he could have won that fight. They could have given it to him. Munguia got the nod. So with that being taken into account, Inoue has been a fighter, Takeshi Inoue, that is, he's been a fighter that domestically in Japan, he's fought at a good level. He's won some Asian titles and WBO Pacific titles and things like that, good regional titles, but never quite broken through on that world-class level. Performed well on the world-class level in his lone outing, but if Tyszu, I'll tell you this, if Tyszu is as good as I think he is, he should be putting away and dispatching Takeshi Inoue in very similar fashion to the way he put away and dispatched Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan was a guy who also fought Munguia, so it's like almost like the Tyszu promotional team, his handlers, they want to just fight guys that gave Munguia a good fight. So maybe next he'll fight Terreno Johnson. Who knows? Who knows what he'll do next? But I think if he's as good as I think he is, he should be beating up this guy the way he beat up Dennis Hogan, because Tyszu's body attack, his boxing IQ, just the things that he does in the ring, and his level of understanding for what's going on in front of him as he's in the ring, it's not like what you would expect from somebody this stage of his career. He's at a good stage of his career. He's at a good level in his career, and I think Tim's knocking on the door of some big things. He even said himself, this Takeshi Inoue fight, which is taking place November 17th in Australia, and guess what, guys? I like Tyszu. We'll go live for it. We'll go live for Tyszu at 4 or 5 in the morning. We've done it before. We'll do it again. This fight with Takeshi Inoue, this could be his last fight in Australia, and from here on out, Tyszu's only going to be in big time fights. And in order for him to get the big fights and get the big nights, in his career that he so desperately seeks, craves, and longs for, he's going to have to come here to the States, because ultimately that's where the money's at. If he can get a world title, maybe he can bring the fights back to Australia. But the place where he's going to maximize his earning potential is going to be in America. And ultimately, at the end of the day, boxing is a business masqueraded as a sport. And Tyszu, there's a lot of good fights out here for him. He could fight Castaño in America. He could fight Jermell Charlo, Tony Harrison, if he wants to go that route. I know that was a fight that fell through. Julian Williams, and the list goes on and on. Luis Arias, the list goes on, and he's been very adamant about wanting to take out the entire PBC stable. He thinks he's got the quality, the goods, and the minerals, as they would say across the pond, to take out the entire PBC stable. So, I think that's a tall task. He could actually do that, but if he don't knock all these guys out, who's to say he'll get a decision in America? So I like Tim. I like the way he carries himself. I like the fact that when they put him in the ring with guys that aren't on his level, or guys that had a name that people thought might be on his level, he's dispatched them easily. He did that with Dennis Hogan. He did that with Stevie Spark, his last fight, and I think he'll do much of the same here with Takeshi Inoue. And then after that, I'm expecting him to exercise his WBO mandatory challenger status and go ahead and fight Castaño for the world title in America, on a big card on Showtime, and really get himself acquainted with this American audience, because the American audience knows who his father is. We know who Tyszu is. He's the guy that made stab Judah to the stanky leg. So if the American audience finds out that Tyszu has a son who's a world-ranked contender with an undefeated record and a big punch, people are going to want to tune in. And I think the fight with him and Castaño was an explosive fight, and one where I really think, as good as Castaño is, I think Tyszu could have that breakout fight here in the States. And it's an explosive fight, a great matchup, and I hope it can come off and happen for not just the division, but for the sake of boxing fans. I think it's a fight that a lot of fans will enjoy if it does ever come off. But we can't look too far ahead. November 17th, save the date. Tyszu will be back in the ring, and he'll be taking on Takeshi Inoue, former world title challenger. A lot older. I didn't realize Takeshi Inoue was so old. Apparently, he's 41 years old, which would mean that when he fought Munguia, he was 39 years old and gave that account of himself. So don't sleep on Takeshi Inoue. You know, one thing we can say about Japanese fighters is that irrespective of their skill level, they don't come to lay down for anybody, and they always give the best effort, and they always come in discipline. And I would expect no different from Takeshi Inoue, who in the one time I saw him fight, that's what he did, and he gave Hayao Munguia a lot to handle in his fight. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below about Tim Tszyu's upcoming fight November 17th with Takeshi Inoue, and yeah, hopefully we get that Kasaya fight next. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you take time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.